Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon if you are in a different part of the world. And yeah, I know it's been, I think, more than 2 weeks since I did my last episode, or maybe even 3 weeks. Right, and I apologize for that. I sort of trying to figure out, what is this, and how should I do this, and things like that. And as you can see, I've also updated the graphics for the live stream as well. So if you guys remember the old graphics, it had a very yellow tone to it. Now it has more of a orange tone. I think this looks more bold and better. And I'll show you guys the updated screens as well in Figma. Let me share. All right. So if I go to the thumbnail file that I have, yeah, so this is the branding that I have or graphics that I have. I was thinking, should I call it branding? And that's why it's like branding. Okay, fine. That's weird. All right, let's get back to this. Now, yeah, this is the theme colors, again, branding that I am thinking about going for and building, and also a couple of other updates. I am working, this is still work in progress. But yeah, if you guys want to check it, please do check it. It's govsonline.com. Let me switch to a different tab here so I don't have to watch myself do this. Okay, for some reason it says can't reach this page. Okay, let me see. Is this govsonline.in? Not sure. Let's see. Okay, so I typed Guz online. Okay, it's guvzonline.com. So, okay, it says coming soon. Let me show you guys. Yeah, I have not published the site itself, but I published a few blog posts. And it is right now in WordPress. Eventually, I want to migrate this to something custom, maybe an XJS app or a React app. Um, but let's see. Let me log in and show you guys. And I've just worked on this maybe half a day so far. So it'll look very raw and complete. So please bear with that. Yeah. But I think you guys will get an idea about what I am going for. This is one of the posts, right? The idea for this website is for it to be a product and user experience glossary. Now, yeah, this is one of the terms that you will find in the glossary, which is Gulf of execution. And also, I am trying to have multiple definitions because one of the key principles in information architecture, or one of the things, I'm sorry, I misspoke, not key principles, one of the things they say in the information architecture book, which is, let me go to my library. I'm forgetting the shortcuts. Yeah, this one. Right, sorry. Yeah, this information architecture for the web and beyond. One of the things that they talk about in the book is how it is impossible to define information architecture in one sentence, right? Basically, how it is impossible to define information architecture with just one definition because it cannot be. Right, and I am taking the same principle, same approach to this product and UX glossary as well because there are multiple ways to define the same term depending on the scenario, depending on the use case that you want to apply it for. That's the beauty of any principle, right? But there is a difference. I just realized that the laws, for example, the Newton's three laws, there is just one definition. There isn't multiple definitions for each of those laws. It's slightly different. Um, but yeah, I tend to digress. I don't know why I even brought that up. Um, so yeah, now each word, each term will have at least one definition, but probably more than one definition. Right. So yeah, and I'll keep adding to this, and I think I'll publish the site itself maybe after I have about 50 or 60 of these terms. And And yeah, I'll take feedback from you guys. And there will be a feedback form also in each of these pages where you can, and I'm also planning to add contributors. Initially, it'll be just me, and if you guys are interested in contributing to the product and UX glossary, do let me know. We can, work together and it'll say contributor, your name. I always felt good whenever I saw that, whether I'm an author of an article or a contributor to something and so on. I think it's a good feeling. And I think it's an even better feeling if you can co-create something with your friends, even better strangers, your LinkedIn connections. Right, so those are the updates in terms of what has changed during these 2 to 3 weeks, what I've been doing, and things like that. And today I have actually picked a topic. It's a very fascinating topic for me, at least, and I came across this quite recently, which is interface metaphors. Let me quickly see if you guys are seeing the same screen that I am seeing. All right, this is great. So, what are interface metaphors? Interface metaphors can be anything that you see in your day-to-day life, right? Your folders, files are metaphors, and representation of what you see as ones and zeros in your system. Um, and it just it helps you form that mental model on how to organize your content, I want to say, uh, in your, be it your local drive, be it your cloud drive, your Google Drive, iCloud, Microsoft OneDrive, whatever it may be. Right, you take that folder and files metaphor and you just uh, scale it to your entire content. Right, so let's see. I also want to do a quick recap. So metaphors are considered to be a central component of a conceptual model. And if you guys don't know what's a conceptual model is somewhere between what your users mental model is and what your own mental model of your own product, right? And the more closer the conceptual model to your user's mental model, the better, because it becomes more relatable, more predictable for your users. The more it is closer towards your own mental model, it might not be very predictable and easy to understand, learn, and remember for your users, right? Unless you have the exact same mental model as your users, right? So that's your conceptual model. When you are conceptualizing what your users' mental model could be, or what your product's model could be for your users. So that's pretty much is what is a conceptual model. And we'll talk more about it if that was not clear. Right. So now, yeah, they provide a structure that is similar in some way to aspects of a familiar entity. Now, familiar entity in this case is your files and folders. We'll see a few more items. Right. So they are talking about the desktop metaphor. Basically, desktop is literally the top of your desk, right? What lies on your desk, and before computers, it's files and folders, right? And you could argue that it can be even a metaphor of cabinets, which is which is a good argument. You can argue that, but I think desktop sounds a little more elegant than cabinets. But yeah, and another well-known one is the search engine, as they're saying here. The metaphor invites comparisons between the physical entity. Here they're saying a mechanical engine, right? But in a more generic sense, a metaphor invites comparison between more of a real life entity and what you see the on any digital interface. Right? I was thinking, is it right to call pigeonhole it only into a digital interface? But yeah, that's what we are talking about here. And I'm sorry, I have a nose block, so I might sound a little weird. And yeah, I hate, one of the very few things I hate about Pune is the weather. And I don't do well in cold weather. And before I continue further, let me see if my voice is picking up. I'm gonna do a mic check, so sorry about that, and please bear with me for not more than 60 seconds. Okay, your videos is where I wanna go to, and I wanna see. I'm looking at, if you guys are wondering what I am looking at, I am looking at my YouTube channel on my other screen, and I am going to open it. Okay, how do I watch this? Can't. Okay, we can. All right. Yeah. Okay. I think the my quality is clear. Cool. This is good. And sorry about that little detour. Now, yeah, coming back to this, right? So metaphors invite a comparison of a real life entity. It could be a tree, it could be a whiteboard, it could be files and folders, it could be a printer, anything, right? And how you can relate to the interface based on your understanding of the real world's entity. Right now, what do I mean by that? If we take whiteboard as an example, and if we go to, let me open a new FigJam. FigJam is a whiteboarding tool, right? And some of the properties of a whiteboard is just very free flowing, right? I can write whatever I want to write. So, if I want to just say Amarniti, right? I'll be able to do the exact same thing on a whiteboard also. And I should be able to rub this as well. Let's see if we are able to find an eraser. Okay, there is a marker. Okay, there is an eraser also. Ideally, if it is a whiteboard, you would see a different looking eraser, but I think this is still fine. In fact, I was looking for, let me see if I can find my whiteboard eraser. Okay, I'm not able to find it. Let me show you guys what I was referring to. Whiteboard eraser. Yes. Yeah, I was looking for something that looks like this. Right. But again, this is still fine. I was still able to recognize that this is an eraser, and then we just erase it. Now, one of the differences is instead of erasing it wherever I am erasing, it just erases the entire stroke, right? And what I mean by that is this is one continuous stroke, and this is one continuous stroke. In real life whiteboard, I would just erase that particular part of that stroke, right? But here it just erases the entire thing. But I think there is some setting, at least there is some setting on the iPad, which lets you choose between whether you want to erase just this part or if you want to erase the entire stroke. Right. So yeah, this is what I mean by how you compare your real life entity towards to your digital interface and how close it is towards the real life entity because you've already used it pretty much, or it's probably what you have learned to use uh, as a kid or as an adult and probably used to that for a few years, if not for many years. Right. So that's one advantage that metaphors have, but the disadvantage is if the technology limits you from bringing your interface closer to the metaphor, then there can be a lot of gap between your physical entity's way of working and your interface's way of working, and that can lead to a lot of frustration for your users because they would expect something, but uh, your interface will react very differently. Right, so that those are some of the pros and cons. One of the pros and cons of a metaphor interface, but mostly if you are able to execute it well, and if there isn't much technology constraint, you should be good with a metaphorical interface. Right, and they also I want to talk about some of the examples that they discuss here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they talk about cards, which is very self-explanatory. Now, if I open, let's say, I wanna say Jira, so I can demo you guys what I mean by a card. But if you guys are using Jira in your day-to-day life, you know what I'm talking about. You have your Jira cards and you can move it between different lanes or different boards in Jira, like how you would a physical card. All right, so that's a good example of a card interface. And there is also this usually designer plugin or product plugin. And there again, you will be able to sort, drag and drop the cards and so on. Okay, now I think I'll be able to find something. Drag and drop demo. All right. Yeah. So imagine this is a card, all right, and I'm able to drag and drop this like I would. Now the problem here, the gap here is ideally I would want to drag this back to its original location if I had made a mistake, but looks like it's not possible here. All right, let's see if there is a different drag and drop demo. Okay, this is a photo manager. So I'm gonna drag and drop it inside trash. Now I have made a mistake and I am dragging it back to its original location or back to the place where it is not the trash. Right? And this is how exactly you would sort any real life card. Right? It could be a photo, it could be, I don't know, notes, not just cards. Right? Your sticky notes and all of those things. Right? So that is one very commonly used metaphor interface type, if you want to call it that. So yeah, that's one of the things that they talk about here. Let's see. Okay, why metaphors are so popular? People frequently use metaphors and analogies as a source of inspiration. They are an integral part of human language, commonly used to explain something that is unfamiliar or hard to grasp. Yeah, so familiarity is one of the advantages of using a metaphor. For your interface, the learning is reduced. I won't say it is completely removed. It becomes definitely more intuitive than trying to invent a new interface type. Um, so yeah, familiarity is one good thing. Let's say if they talk about something else. Okay, so this is good. Okay, yeah, I remember reading more um, metaphors than just cards, but I'm not sure where that particular piece of information is. Let's see if I'm able to find it using this index. Sorry, just zoom in for you guys so you guys can also see. Just give me a minute. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, choosing and combining. Okay, this is all good. Hmm. Okay, I think maybe it is an interaction types. Let's see. Let me quickly skim through this interaction types. If not, I promise you guys I'll find about the different interface metaphors tomorrow and talk to you guys. All right. So this, just give me a second. Instructing. Okay, this is all good. Conversing. They talk about different interaction types. Instructing, conversing. I think there's one more, manipulating. Yeah, these theories are really eye openers. Okay. Yeah, I am not able to find it. We are done with that particular section. And let me also do a quick, because today I wanted to keep it about 20 to 30 minutes. And I think that's the format I think I will also use going forward, rather than talking about something for an hour. That way it becomes a little more sustainable for me also. Let me go back to OBS and to full screen. Yeah, so that way it becomes a little more sustainable for me as well. And I don't have to scramble for new content every day. What I've realized is I've exhausted content quite fast. I'm not saying I'm not able to find content. I am able to, but still it takes a little more time, right, to find that content to articulate to talk about that. But if it is a much shorter live stream, maybe around 20 minutes, I think it'll be a little more sustainable. But the BTS live streams will still be longer. I'm still assuming it'll be more than an hour because that's where I actually create videos based on the content I talk about in the live stream. And for those who are completely new to these live streams, and if this is the first time or the second time that you are watching the live stream, the idea for the live stream is for PULPED UX. There are a couple of live streams. Let me go back to my screen share. And if I open, so this is Pulp, this is what you are looking at, right? Now we also have BTS Pulp, which is another live stream where I actually make videos based off of the content that I talk about here on this one, right? And those, it is as it suggests, right? BTS behind the scenes of pulped videos, not pulped live stream. So yeah, I create the script. I'm hoping to create the script and the graphics, some of the graphics that we created. Let me see if I can find. So these are some of the graphics we created for one of the videos, and this is still in progress. And I'll use ultimately these graphics to create those short form videos, right? Which will be explainer types. I'm still thinking about maybe just doing a voiceover and a bunch of slides, and if possible, animations on those slides. That is one format that I am thinking about. And the other format is I switch between me talking on the video, right, full screen, and then switching to the slides in between wherever necessary when I want to represent something that I am talking about in graphics or animated form. So yeah, those live streams will be an hour or so, but the pulped live streams will be about 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, that's for today, and thank you for tuning in. And yeah, hoping to keep this more crisp. And I'm going to add this also to the to-do list. In fact, let me do this right away. One of the things that I failed to do is update the thumbnails right after the live stream. So let me open this, and I think I had my to-do list here. Yes, I think yeah, this is the to-do list. Okay, yes, headings. Yeah, it's been so long, I forgot the structure of this document. Now, yeah, today's I'll say interface metaphors. I'm going to call it interface metaphors part one. Tomorrow I'll do part two, and this is not actually episode 17, it is episode 18. And I'll create a thumbnail for that. I'm just thinking, is there anything else that I should do? Um, okay, yeah, I think that's good. Um, Yeah, I'll update the thumbnail for the live stream probably in the evening. I'm also thinking about doing the behind the scenes podcast in the evenings as well. So this is great, and until tomorrow or today evening. See you guys. Bye bye.